see standing on a table, a miniature city. Incredible. This is my city. This is Salim in the kingdom of Samsar. Although I have not seen her in an age, I will never forget her.
Perhaps this is a trick from the temple. We have seen creatures from your land. Perhaps this is one of the trials that we were told about. Perhaps it starts with you.
The sand whips around the room. The intensity builds until you cannot see your hand in front of your face. Then as quickly as it began, it stops. The sand settles on the floor, and you see you are no longer standing in a circular room that you were just moments before, but on a giant sand dune looking down into a valley. And in that valley, you see the city of Salim, but life-size. I cannot believe it. My home. What is this?
It's the first trial.
It is a trick of this blasted temple. I did tell you not to touch it.
My father is Atef Alam, the true king of Samsar. On his 41st birthday, my father was murdered by a group of assassins. The reason for this was unclear, and we did not know who would do such a thing or why. It was deemed we should say my father died of natural causes. Why? It's in preparation for King Atif's 41st birthday celebration, of course. 3 days of festival before the big event. Well, we are here to defeat this temple. Maybe this is the first step.
Then how can we help you?
We must save my father. Why else would I be here?
I don't know why we're here. I still think this is nonsense. It's a trick. But we're treading this path. We'll tread it together.
Yes. We will all walk it together.
This is the way I was led out of Salim as a child. Poetic that I should return home this way. On top of the pile of bones, you see a large crocodile. It lays on its side, revealing 6 large teats. A female. To your horror, you see 6 children suckling at these teats. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Chapter 9 of A Cast of Players, The Ritual of the Blood Temple. Now, I realize you've all had your recap already, so you know exactly what's going on. However, there's been a slight break between the last time that we filmed. So I'm going to just read a little bit about the situation where our heroes were left last time, because it's a doozy. You may remember you were following a small child down the sewers through the bowels of Salim.
He's wearing a cute alligator mask.
He was.
It's not cute.
It was
a problem.
So what you stumbled across a room. In the center of this room was a large pile of bones. Animal bones mostly, but you certainly can distinguish some that look Mon-Cow. On top of the pile of bones, you see a large crocodile. It lays on its side, revealing 5 large teats. A female. To your horror, you see 5 children suckling at the teats. They're all wearing the crocodile masks the other child was wearing, who incidentally you recognize as one of these children. Behind this grotesque scene, you see a ladder leading up to the street. Suddenly, the crocodile jerks upright, seeing you. You see her eyes are leaking some sort of black liquid. She snarls at you, and as she does, the children all turn to face you. They start to hiss at you and gnash their teeth, the same black liquid dribbling from their mouths. From above the archway, you heard the gate begin to rumble and close. You managed to roll through before it did. However, the dark-skinned warrior and Anarch did not make it through. So as you tumble into the room, the children scatter, scaling the walls as they continue to hiss at you. As they hiss, you see their mouths are actually filled with hundreds of small, razor-sharp teeth, and they have long, pointed black tongues. One of the older children, who seems to be more emboldened than the others, screeches a high-pitched, almost un-Mon-Cow type scream. Then launches himself at the wall directly at you. Gentlemen, it's time to roll up initiatives.
No.
It's initiative time. Why don't you start us off, Jericho, with rolling at your initiative, sir.
Okay.
Yep, good start.
It's a 1.
It's a 1. Hey!
As fast as I mean to go on.
Very good.
Tremendous.
Okay.
I roll a 3!
Alright!
Slow and steady wins the race.
Okay.
I'm on a 3 also.
Oh, this is going really well.
Yep.
Boy. That's a 7.
Well done.
Okay, wow.
Ten
So
in total.
Clearly the presence of these demonic creatures has completely thrown you all, and you've kind of stumbled. Sahid, however, is definitely not afraid of what he has seen.
It should be.
So, this is how it will go. Okay, fair enough.
Didn't Lawrence and I...
Well, I've got +3.
Oh, okay, right.
that's
That's fine.
Yeah, so that's
I'm going
that's what I...
Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say that, but you know, okay, that's fine. Let's just jump ahead, shall
Stole
we?
his thunder.
Okay.
Dream of it.
So, initiative will be as follows. It will start with the demonic children. It will then go on to Rin, Hakote, Pollux, the Crocodile, and Jericho. And then, no, actually, forgive me, it'll go demonic children, Sahid, and then Rin, Hakote, Pollux, Jericho.
Okay.
Yeah. Crocodile's before Jericho, though. Yeah, cool. I'm glad I made that clear for everyone.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah.
I know
Right.
what's going on.
Just remember who you're after.
Just really good.
yeah.
Right, so these creatures, they've clambered up the wall, and all of a sudden they just leap off, and they all try to attach themselves to your bodies, opening up with those mouths and all of the little sharp teeth going. So he goes. And they move with a frightening speed.
And when you said they scaled the walls, it's like spiders sort of just...
Yeah, they literally went and they turned around, they're all like looking at you. That's when
Ah.
you see this mouth of hundreds of razor sharp teeth.
I mean, at that point, when they did that, both of Hakote's sides came out from underneath his robes, and he says, "These are no children." And yeah, I'm ready to kill these things now.
What?
Yeah, no, that's messed up. They're crawling and running up walls.
What if they've got
They have
like...
fanged teeth
What if they're cursed?
and black eyes
Yeah, fair
with
enough.
forked tongues.
Yeah.
They're too far gone.
They're too much.
Yeah.
Right, so here we go. So we'll start off with the two that have jumped off. So you were kind of running forward to get to the ladder.
Yeah, I was going to leave them be. I don't want to fight them.
Yeah, well, so what's happened is as you've come forward to protect their mother, these two have both leaped down on top of you and literally do what I tried to say. So they're kind of latched onto you and they go to bite at your neck. The first one, your armor class, sir.
My armor class is, if I remember correctly, 15.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the first one does find its mark. It latches onto you and tries to tear a chunk out of your shoulder.
Okay.
He does a total of, that would be 3 damage.
Okay, got it. 1, 2, 3. No problem.
The second one, so you've got this one, and this one's kind of crawling up on your back and it goes to kind of bite around this area. He does not find its mark.
Okay.
So you've got this little thing crawling around on the back of your head at the moment.
And they're biting chunks out.
They are biting chunks with all of their teeth.
It's very unpleasant.
Yes, it's not a very nice time for anyone involved.
At
Sahid,
least we're in a sewer.
seeing this, runs over. At least we're in a sewer. So he runs over. So the one that's trying to get purchase on your back, you hear this as his blade gets drawn, as he splits this creature right down the middle, and it just falls in 2 pieces on the ground.
Wow.
He does exactly what I said he would do. The damage. Oh yeah. So essentially, as this thing actually, he kind of missed the first one. I'm assuming you're kind of like trying to fight it off. He comes in for this second bite, and as he does, he just gets chopped in half. Just hits the ground. And that is the first of the demonic creatures killed. It now comes to you, Ritz.
Heed.
Okay.
Nice.
Savage.
Yeah.
So I sort of see you've moved forward, Hakote. So he's done this like almost like crescent blow, I guess.
Yeah.
I just call. I sort of look over to the others and I call out into the sewers, like, forget the children. The gate is closing. And I'm gonna, with my sword, I'm gonna slap one of the children with the flat of the blade. One of them that's coming towards me. Just using the flat of the blade of my short sword.
Sure.
So I'm going for a non-lethal strike here. That is a... I can't see. 16 plus 5, 21.
Oh yes.
So I slap him, non-lethally, mind you, with 5 damage, 2 plus 3.
Okay, very good. So he non-lethally dies? I mean...
He's knocked out.
No, I'm joking.
He's knocked out. So this kid, I mean, what, he's 11, 12?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever been hit in the head by a sword? I don't
Yeah,
wanna
no,
be
so
hit in the head
essentially
with
what
a sword.
happens is you batter this
Yeah.
creature around, it kind of spins on the spot and then just hits the ground. It's unconscious.
Okay.
Cool, very good.
With that then, I'm going... So that was this one here.
Yes.
Yeah, he's mine now. I will then move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I can go 7 and 8 because of my extra movement. And then with my bonus action, I'm going to mark the crocodile with my hunter's mark. So I sort of, with my blades, I kind of then brandish them towards the crocodile mum. And then clang them together to try and draw its attention.
Very nice. Okay, very good. So it will now come on to you, Hakote.
Okay, so Sahid has just cut one in half. I imagine the other one is still on my shoulder and it's just bit in. It's like,
Yeah.
Hakote grabs the back of its hair, pulls it off, tearing some of my own flesh as I do so,
Epic.
and then basically picks this creature up, flips it round, and does a pile driver with it. Boom. But he doesn't do it.
Wow.
He doesn't do it full force. He's doing it to knock it out.
Sure. Okay.
100
Very good.
razor sharp teeth.
Correct, but you know,
Pile driver.
he did
a small child.
but not full force.
And you thought I was bad for giving a
remember,
little troll baby
this-
a jolt.
No, but this
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is like far lighter, so I can control its descent.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is knock its head out on the ground.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go like whack.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go
Right.
and then drop it.
Let's
A
be
mild
clear,
incapacitation.
these creatures are definitely creatures. There is nothing really Moncow about them anymore, other than they seem to have the form. But now that they're like literally scrambling up the walls, screeching at you, biting chunks out of you, it would be fair to say that they aren't exactly children. They are something else,
Yes.
demons.
Yeah.
Right?
But
So-
nonetheless, I still want to go for the knockout blow
Fine.
because that was Hakote's initial instinct, and also then Rin has just called and he's seen what Rin's done because Rin got the split second initiative there. So Hakote follows suit.
Sure.
So right, Hakote strikes. He does roll a 2, so that first one will be a miss, but I'm going to continue with my flurry of blows.
Sure.
here. And then the second will be a 7 plus 5, so 12.
So that is a miss, that
Oh,
one.
wow, okay.
What you realise is, as you go to grab, you don't quite expect the speed of it.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he just kind of dodges your hand as he
Okay.
goes out of the way.
I
He's still
continue.
crawling around on top of you there.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So the next one that comes to is Pollux.
Yeah. Cool. So, I kind of eye off the crocodile.
Yeah.
I make towards up there. So, and I'm assuming these are kind of little like pools or little ponds or something like that, kind of scattered around.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
like...
imagine the floor's kind of wet as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Grippy. So what I do is I make my way towards here. I eye off the crocodile, and say like I'm standing right next to like a little small like a pool of water, almost like a puddle, I imagine. What I do is I start to make a sign. I kick the puddle, and all of the water kind of splashes up.
Yeah.
And as that happens, I kind of catch some of the drops midair, and my hands start to kind of like steam as if it's starting to get frosty. And the water that's kind of caught in midair starts to freeze up.
Right.
And then I just go whoosh, like that, and these kind of icicles now, it's just kind of almost like skimming rocks across a river.
Sure.
They start going across the floor and up into the crocodile.
Sure. Sure.
Cutting him up. Kill it. Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Kill that crocodile.
That's a 2.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen. I imagine these little icicles just kind of go. I realise, probably not having encountered a crocodile in my life, realise that its plates are probably a bit too tough.
It's probably a bit too tough.
Yeah.
So maybe not icicle, shards next time of ice might be better. No.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what I meant. So.
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, that is you done. So now it comes around to the crocodile herself. So,
The slightly frosty crocodile.
so, having been attacked by you, Pollux,
Oh, great.
It's gonna eat you.
it turns around and charges at you. Boom, 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 boom. All of as it opens, it's snapping its jaws. All of that black liquid is coming out of its mouth as well, and you can see it's weeping this stuff. Whatever's happened to these creatures is horrific. He lashes out at you. That is a hit. What's your armor class?
10.
Oh yeah, that's a hit. That's a big time hit. So, literally, this crocodile just slashes into your leg and just tears a chunk out of it. He does a total of, that would be 7 wounds. As you are now caught in this crocodile, in the jaws of this crocodile there. Yeah, that's that done. So then it will come back to, it will come to you, Jericho.
Hooray! Right. So I'm going to ignore the children and make a beeline over to the crocodile. Does the crocodile have a name?
The crocodile.
Does it have a name, or is it just the crocodile?
It's let's call it a demon crocodile.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
This is what paladins do best. Kill them demons. So, seeing Pollux essentially wrestling a crocodile at this point, Jericho just makes a beeline towards him.
unsheathes his sword and just cleaves down into its maw from the top and cuts its mouth off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the best way to do a crocodile.
Do it.
That is an 8 plus 3, it's 11. I'm presuming that's not a
So
hit.
you hit down on top of its head, bing, and it bounces off.
Wow.
The scales on this thing are incredibly tough.
Right.
And as you do, it's almost like you cut it, but you see like this black liquid, it almost like starts to pool there. It's almost like it's forming to protect, like some sort of protective layer over its face from where it was hit.
Okay.
But you do not do any damage.
Oh.
It's +5 hit.
It's plus 5.
Still doesn't
13.
hit. No.
Just in case that did make a difference.
It does not. Right, so then it will come back around to the children, the demon children. So you've incapacitated 2 of them now. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So this one, you've already removed the one that was knocked out.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So this one, as you ran past, you're focused on this crocodile. You don't hear this one coming up behind you. Suddenly you feel this thing jump onto your back, bites down onto the back of your shoulder blade there. He does indeed crunch. So you're kind of looking at this, and suddenly this thing just goes gunk on your back, and you feel all of these tiny teeth just pierce into your flesh as it rips you apart. It does a total of 2 damage. Then we come on to this one over here, who's kind of been left on the lonesome. Comes around. Pollux, unfortunately, is the closest. Again, climbs up on your robe. So you're being dealt with this crocodile, and then this thing comes over the top. Doesn't find a purchase that time, but you are feeling this little creature crawling up your back. You can hear it hissing in your ear. In fact, its long tongue is kind of like licking the side of your face at the moment. Then it will come over to Sahid. So he's just dealt with one of these things. He sees the one that you're trying to pole drive. He looks at you as in, may I dispatch of this creature?
Yeah, I mean, Hakote is quite busy right now, so
Yeah.
probably wouldn't even acknowledge looking at him. Because what's happened is I've tried to flip the creature, but I imagine it's almost starts running up my arm, crawling up my arm, because it's got like these sticky hands, so that's why I couldn't get a grip on it.
Yeah.
So Hakote doesn't look at see.
Yeah,
you can
but-
see Hakote struggling to get a hold of it.
So as you're doing that, it's almost like there's this moment where it kind of gets up on your arm like this, and you kind of look at it, and it's kind of running down your arm towards you with its mouth open. Oh yes, that is, Sahid is meaning business today. And pretty much the exact same thing happens. So he just goes, you use this golden blade, it's just like a flash of light that kind of catches one of the torchlight, goes straight through there. The creature is killed. So then it will come to you, Rin.
Okay, so there's this one on my back.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sort of feeling this chow down on my shoulder blade. I kind of wince. It's not a massive bite, but it's still like a. The heck is going on?
Yeah.
What I do is I flip my short blade round and I boom bean him with the pommel in the head.
Sure.
Again, so I'm striking non-lethally here.
Uh-huh.
Hey. That is a 14 plus 5 and 19.
Oh yes, you do.
Hey! That'll be 6 plus 3, 9 points of non-lethal damage.
Yeah. So this creature flies off your shoulder, hits the wall, slides down, is completely incapacitated.
Good.
Okay.
And then I'm not done yet.
Oh!
he's not finished yet. Then I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 onto the alligator that's sort of. I imagine it's doing what crocodiles do. It's bitten down on
and it's starting to do the death roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do then with my newly acquired scimitar.
Oh yeah,
Thank you, guardsman.
You've got a scimitar.
I will slice down with my bonus action as my offhand attack, looking to chop off a chunk of its tail.
Do it.
That is an 11 plus 5, 16.
No.
Oh,
16? Excuse me?
Tough.
It's a tough. Again, you slice into it, and this black ichor just kind of forms up over the wound quite quickly. But you do have her attention.
Good.
She releases, watch it, it strikes and she goes and kind of releases you for a moment and is now kind of like that, looking around. But it is not her turn to strike, it is yours, Hakote.
Okay, so having had this child just dispatched out of my hands almost, Kote is like surprised for a moment, looks to Zahid, and then just immediately with his size, because he now redraws them, leaps to the aid of Pollux. So I don't need to go very far, I can actually just turn my attention to the alligator.
Yeah.
He leaps up and smashes one of the sides down into the back of its skull. So this is the first blow. That is a 10 plus 5, 15.
No.
Okay, and then he immediately with the other side tries to do the same thing, seeing that he can't pierce it. Right, it's literally between a 9 and an 11.
Roll it again.
Okay. Well, it's 10 again, so no. So 15, so I imagine the side just doesn't quite pierce this alligator's height.
Yes, so it's just you there going
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is not enough. That will then come to you, Pollux.
Okay, so I've been released from the crocodile, but this creature is still clinging to my back, I imagine. So he's been released, he's been really cut up badly. So for a moment there, he just kind of stops, takes a deep breath in, and you can start to see his eyes start to darken. And he remembers, he turns his attention to the creature on his back. And without even really doing anything, he just kind of goes like this, and kind of catches the creature around the neck. And he casts Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
And he's definitely not wearing plate armor or anything.
Wow, maybe. Funny you should mention that.
Oh, well. No. So, 12 plus 5 is 17.
You do indeed catch this creature, and the Shocking Grasp goes off.
Excellent.
If you'd like to roll your damage, sir.
Yeah, so which is 1d8 lightning damage. 4.
4. And that's it?
That's it.
Okay, so all this electrical energy pumps through this creature, and you can kind of start to smell its flesh crackle underneath it. And you kind of go to let it go, you feel it wiggle, it is not dispatched.
Oh dear.
Yes, but you have damaged it. Well, yeah, it's pretty it's almost dead, but yeah, you've done a good job.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Right, so then it will be the crocodile's turn.
Demon crocodile.
Demon crocodile, forgive me. So
That's
she's
Mrs. Demon Crocodile.
yeah. So she's getting hit from all sides at this time now. The last hit came from Rin. She rounds on you and goes to bite at you. That is a hit. So as you've slapped down, is you kind of expect to remove its tail, and it kind of just heals up like this, and suddenly you turn around, you look up, and this jaw just goes cronk. Again, going for your legs. He does a total of that would be 7 again. 7 damage as a chunk is taken out of your leg. Yes. But that is the crocodile's turn. It now comes over to you, Jericho.
Very good. Right, so I've hit it once. Ping!
Yes.
And kind of surprised by how tough the scales of this thing is.
Yeah.
He's sort of taken the momentum of his sword being sort of flung backwards, and as it's gone then to attack Rin over there, he's used that momentum and sort of moved forwards and sort of spun to get more power behind his blow. Comes back down onto the same spot. I'm having to move forwards a little bit. And this time, on a 16 plus 5, that's a 21. I'm presuming this time I pierce the skin.
Unfortunately, no, of course you do, yeah. So you finally hit through. It's almost like you found a weak spot, and you feel this crunch. So if you'd like to roll your damage.
I'd love to. That is a 7 plus 5.
13.
Yeah, buddy!
Whoosh.
I hit it that time.
You
It is
sure?
a weak spot.
It is, and so the crocodile roars in pain, the demon crocodile roars in pain, and turns its focus to you. But it will not be her turn yet.
12 points of damage.
Thank you very much. it will be going.
Mathematics.
It will be going back to the creature, the last creature, which is still on your shoulder. So as you kind of go to release it, it starts to wiggle again and actually bites down on your arm to kind of like as a reaction to try and get you to release it. Right, that is a hit.
No.
So it just tears. These teeth just tear into your arm. So where you thought that this will be enough, unfortunately, it was not. They claw through, and you just feel it pulling at your tendons. It does a total of 3 damage.
Oh, okay.
You're not doing so hot.
No.
The Protect the Wizard formation has failed badly.
Yes. But
Oh, is that what you're doing? Oh, great.
but so as yeah. Are you still alive?
Yes.
Okay, good. How many
The
points
confidence.
do you have left?
Yes.
I have 2.
2 left.
Yes, a player dev. It has been a long time coming. Okay, very good. So it now comes round to Sahid. So he's kind of like dispatched this creature. You've run over. He kind of he's right behind you. You hear this as his blade slices down onto this guy here. That is a miss. So again, probably not really realizing how strong this thing is. It does hit, but it doesn't do anything. And he kind of pulls his blade up, and it's covered in this black stuff, and he goes, it just flies off, and the blade is completely clean. We will now come over to you, Rin.
Okay, seeing that the vast majority of our blows are just kind of bouncing off this crocodile, barring I imagine. So when he went for me, I tried to move it to the side with my blades, and it just barreled straight through me. I've seen Sahid's sword ping off, and we've seen what that can do. You've managed to find a weak spot, but we're pretty much doing nothing. I again just call out, "Forget the beast! To the ladder!" I will attack it.
Okay.
Just the once. That's an 8 plus a 5, so 13.
No.
And then I will begin to move towards the ladder. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, very good.
And again, sort of as I'm going, I kind of... In fact, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this way because I've attacked it, and again, I'm going to sort of clang my swords to try and attract it.
Sure, cool. Tung, 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 tung. Very nice. And they'll come over to you now, Hakote.
Okay, so Hakote minds what Rin says, but he then snaps a glance to Pollux, and he sees that he's very badly wounded, and that in order to get over to the ladder, Pollux is going to have to limp his way over to the ladder through the alligator's path. So Hakote immediately roars. He does a butterfly flip. So that's basically a flip where you sort of turn in the air and your legs kick out from behind you.
Cool.
Darth Maul style.
Yeah.
He uses that to land on the back of the alligator and plunge both of the sides into the back of its skull. That is a 16 plus 5, 21.
The first one is a success.
Yes, yes it is. Yes, the first one is a success.
Punchy in the
Already
eyes.
forgotten how what my damage is. Should be D4, right?
Yes.
Cool. So here we go. First is a 4,
Yes!
5, 6, 7 points of damage. Then the second is a 17 plus 5, that's another hit.
That is another hit, yes.
Another hit. And then the second is a 3 plus 3, that's another 6 points of damage. Would you like me to remove the model now?
Oh no.
It's okay, I'll do it for you anyway.
So you are now surfing this crocodile.
Yeah,
with
sort of.
both of the weapons plunged deep in
Yeah.
his back. It starts thrashing wildly around. It's definitely hurt, but as you look down at these wounds, you see it's almost like it's not so much that they're healing, but whatever this stuff is trying to protect it, and it's definitely making less damage than it would normally do to like a normal crocodile.
That's the most epic thing Hakote's done so far. That's awesome.
It should be dead.
Okay, very cool.
Right, so we come over to you, Pollux.
Yes.
Yes.
So the creature's gnawing on my arm. I kind of like crumple, fall down to one knee. My eyes continue to darken. I start kind of almost not screaming in pain, but kind of like going in like this deep growl. I look it in its eyes, and my hands kind of like come up like this as I'm kind of struggling to keep the energy. And I look at it and it's go, vile creature. I stick my fingers in its eyes.
Oh my god!
Now, before I continue, I just want to quickly check a rules thing. If I attempt a ranged attack at a melee range, it's disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to double check that. I thought that was a kid situation.
Maybe not.
There's a reason I ask, because
I'm doing it anyway.
Double 20.
I kind of feel like there's an actual reason I did that, but you know what? I don't want to take any chances with this thing, so I'm going to cast Chill Touch again.
Okay, very good.
Kind of still works.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a 9 plus 5, 14. Come on, man.
Unfortunately not.
So good thing I didn't roll at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. There it is. Your combat with this creature continues. We'll now
You did the curly move. Like.
So it's now the crocodile's turn. So what it does is, as you're kind of surfing it, it goes into a death roll and kind of flips you off.
Yep.
As it does so, it snaps at you and catches you in the middle of the air.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Critical now, you said.
What's your armor class?
My armor class is 15.
Okay, so you are flipped off,
Yeah.
but the snap misses you as you go through.
Pirouette.
Wait,
You land on it?
Yes,
Yeah.
you do the split, the feet in the mouth.
Oh dear. Right, okay, so then it will come back to you, Jericho.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep hitting with my sword. So it's flipped over.
Yeah.
It's gone to bite you.
Yeah.
But missed.
I'm sort of mid-air at the moment. I'm sort of pirouetted off of it.
Yeah.
Just missed me.
Okay. So it's facing upwards and going for the snap onto a Corte. So as he's doing that, I'm going to continue my spinning technique and have another cleave to the maw again and cut its mouth off. But that's a 15, so I miss.
Okay.
What, you 15
15
in
in
total?
total.
15
Yeah.
in total?
Yeah.
So as it's rolling, it just goes over the top.
Yeah.
So it rolls on the ground. Right. So now it will come back to the last creature, which is still on your back, Pollux.
Right.
So you've just tried to poke this thing in the eyes. What actually happened is, as you go, its jaw opened much wider than you had expected it to. It almost dislodges, clamps down on your hand, and actually just removes it.
It did the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You wouldn't know, you've
Yeah.
not seen that film.
No.
Yeah. Pollux, that was a hit.
Oh,
He does a total of 2 damage.
Well, I'm out.
You're out.
oh my goodness.
So what happens is this chunk takes it out of you. The blood loss is so you're bleeding profusely from
Yeah.
everywhere, and this final blow is just too much. You drop to your knees and fall to the ground. So it now will come back to Sahid. So Sahid can
kill the thing.
off the top, and he kind of goes, moves his sword with such incredible speed. It comes down across the back of this crocodile as it's rolled closer towards him. That is definitely a hit on an 18. He does a total of only 7 wounds. But he cuts it across its back, and again this black ichor just kind of spills out of this thing, and it's almost as if this ichor seems alive. The way that it's moving around it, it's not blood. Whatever it is, it's something else. But yes, so that is what he does in his turn. So it will now come back to you, Rin.
Okay, seeing that no one is listening to me for the second time, and then seeing Pollux almost fall probably like face first into that pool of water,
Yeah.
I sheave one of my swords, I dash over, 1.
Isn't there still that creature behind Pollux as well?
Yes,
Yes, that's
exactly.
the one
That's the
so
one that
the
just
one
hit
that's
me.
like now
Bit his hand
clamped
off.
down onto your hand, I go in and I just boot it in the head.
Yes. Yes. Football style.
Football style. That's a natural 20.
Oh!
It's good! As I'm making an unarmed strike though, it is only 1 damage, it doesn't double. It's literally 1 damage.
Considering how epically wounded it was before, it's enough.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do. It does fly across the room, hits the ground, skids, and is now no longer.
You just won the
Lag.
Super Bowl.
Amazing.
Right. So then, having done that, I go to lean down to Pollux. I won't have enough actions to do what I'm going to do now, but I yell to the other 3, "Go to the ladder!"
Okay, very good. So then that will come over to you, Gote.
Right, so I hear the shouting. I see that Rin, you've now gone to tend Pollux. I shout back, "We can't leave him!" Obviously referring to Pollux. And as I do that, because I land because this thing's just snapped at me, and then you've struck it. Hakote, I don't think. Yeah, I've only got the one left anyway. That will take up my entire action. Yeah, no, Hakote unfortunately does disregard what you say, and he continues to spin. He then lashes out with both of the scythes, trying to blind this creature, to hopefully set up an escape, because at least if it can't see us, perhaps that will be a little easier. So, the first is a 1, so that definitely misses.
Oof.
And the second is a 17 plus 5, so that is a hit.
That's a hit.
So obviously one of the scythes just misses its eye, because I'm trying to do this pinpoint strike, and the second one goes deep in and does 4 points of damage in total.
4
1 plus
points
3.
of damage in total. It lets out a horrific wail as you do indeed just blind one of the
So it's
sides.
dull and
Just
milky.
goes, yeah, and well, actually what happens is all of this black stuff starts weeping out of its face.
Yeah.
And actually what you notice is as you pull your blade out, it's almost like it's trying to stick to your blade and then falls away. So we now will come around to you, Pollux. You need to do a saving throw. Stand up. Do it!
No.
No.
Oh no!
So you failed.
What did he roll?
You rolled a 4.
Okay.
So
Saving throw there.
failed death saving throw. So you're falling deeper into unconsciousness at the moment as the blood leaves your body.
What was it? The 3 in a row?
3 in a row, you die.
Yeah. Cool.
It's not 3 in a row, it's just any 3.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be in a row.
I know, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry.
So you could have 2 fails and then 2 successes and then a fail. You did.
You did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
you've got to make 3 successes to revive.
Yeah.
We're only 2 away from the best time that you can have as a dungeon master.
Yes. Good for you, mate.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Right. Okay, cool. So, Pollux, that's you done. It now does come around to the crocodile. So what you notice is this stuff on your blade kind of goes, and like I said, it kind of latches out to you. Suddenly, this creature goes and starts to cough, and then it looks up at you and goes and all of this black ichor spills out of its mouth and goes to attach itself to your body.
Whoa!
Your armor class.
15.
It hits you. You feel this thing suddenly start moving up and going into your nose, your mouth, and your ears. Can you make a wisdom check, please?
Wisdom. Natural 20.
Oh, he's so wise.
Do you want me to tell another one of my parables right now?
So what you actually feel is it's almost like a sentient being is trying to communicate with you, and you hear a voice saying, "Let me in," and you quite rightly turn around and say no, as seductive and smooth, and it's a cool feeling that kind of starts to fill your body, but you manage to reject it. When that happens, it goes and goes back into the crocodile.
Oh.
Ugh.
You got so lucky, oh man. Right, cool, so that's that done. It now comes around, well, the demon children have been dispatched. It is now Sahid. So Sahid has seen this happen, he gets this look of just rage and disgust on his face, and he just, with all of the speed and might that he can muster, comes down on this thing's neck and removes it. That he does hit. Can he chop through there though? He does 9 damage with his blade. So it's the crocodile kind of leaps back a bit, and its head is almost being removed. But again, you see this thing is trying to almost pull it back into place, this black ichor, but it is now severely wounded. You can tell that it probably does not have much longer for this world. It now comes around to you, Rin.
Okay. So I booted this child demon thing across the room.
Yes.
I've then leant down. I pulled Pollux out of the water, and I whisper into my hand, and I draw it across his face. You can see, so Jericho, you kind of feel almost like a tingle on the back of your neck. And Hakote, you see out the corner of your eye like a slight blue flash of one of my tattoos. I'm casting Cure Wounds on you. So you will heal 5 + 3, 8 wounds. You stand, you immediately,
Whoa.
you are back.
You're alive.
And then at that point I say, go to the ladder.
Wow! You don't done that before. That's a good trick.
Yeah, new magic spells.
So is it, sorry Mike, 8?
8 you say.
Wicked.
Yay. Well, I'm disappointed, but you know. Very, very cool. Okay, great. So that comes around to you now, Hakote.
I don't think I've had a turn.
Have you not?
No, he's not. Yeah.
Oh no, that's true, yeah.
Can I just hit him twice when it goes back around?
No, you can just hit him now.
Critical, dead. Oh, okay.
What is that?
That's an 8.
So close to a 20.
Yeah, so there's no description.
I didn't do my
even
turn
do a
anyway.
description. You didn't even do anything.
Sorry, I won't
That's
do
all
the
right.
next
Carry on. Right, so there we go. So now, Hakote, it's your turn.
Right, so this black ichor sort of starts to crawl itself up towards my neck. Hakote's entire body tenses and just ripped sinew everywhere. It rejects and goes right back into the alligator. As it does, Hakote immediately follows through. The sai is following this ichor as it's drawn back into the alligator, and it goes right up into the alligator's maw, into the upper roof of its jaw. And then he brings the other side down on the top part, snapping the jaws back shut, and it's dead.
Okay.
So it becomes a jaw sandwich in between my two sides. Do you understand?
I understand.
Feeling hungry?
Yes.
20. It is an 8 + 5. The first one's a miss. The second, no, it's a miss on a 2.
So yeah,
It's too busy fighting the thing off.
fighting that creature off.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Pollux,
Yes.
you are now up. You are about.
Yes.
So what do you do?
I do move towards the ladder.
Yes.
But not before.
This thing's must be killed.
Yeah. It really does. So I'm still going to keep my distance from it, but I'm going to kind of start making my way. What I do is I kind of hear that make your way towards the ladder, and I kind of, without even looking at him, I start to make my way towards forward, almost as if I am moving towards the ladder, but kind of to myself. You just kind of hear me say, "Not yet," and I again put both my hands out. As that's happening, the blood on the ground is kind of pulled around me, as well as the actual pond I was lying in, start to kind of gather and follow me. And I start to move my hands forward like this, and it all starts to kind of trickle towards the crocodile.
Right.
It starts to kind of, it starts to like sit in this pool, and it starts to make its way up its legs, and it's almost like, I can imagine maybe like the black ichor that's coming off it starts to kind of, almost looks like it's fighting against it as well.
Right.
So yeah, I'm casting Ray of Sickness. This is one of my spell slots. So this was the one I was thinking about doing at disadvantage before, because, well, if it goes off, I'll go into a bit more detail as to why.
Okay.
So this is a ranged attack. Come on. That's 12 + 5 is 17.
That's a hit.
Yeah, so it takes, on hit, the target takes 2d8 poison damage and must take a constitution saving throw.
Okay, so do your damage.
Yep, I'll do my damage.
Kill it.
Kill it.
Yes, please.
You're a purse. So that's 6 and 4 points of damage.
So it's 10 points in total. Is that what
Yes.
you're telling me?
Yes, I am.
If you'd like to describe how the demon crocodile...
Yes!
Good work, creepy.
So, so as I described, the blood and water is kind of gathered together and mixed, and is fighting against this black ichor, and you can see it starting to win over. The crocodile starts twitching as if it's not quite sure what's going on. It starts to kind of be enveloped by all this liquid, and then it kind of turns to me, and I'm just kind of standing there, just doing this, kind of like clenching my hands as well, and it starts to twitch, and almost like the ichor starts to pour out of its mouth. You don't really see anything other than that. It just kind of twitches, and then eventually its eyes become white and roll back, and it just goes flops. Like, it's almost like the other guys who are kind of fighting it, almost kind of like going, what happened?
Yeah.
It flops down, and then you look up, and it's just kind of standing there, doing this, and then once it flops, it just goes. Now, one thing I need to do.
What's that?
So, because I killed this creature with that's right. One of the things I get to do as I've taken up the school of necromancy is I've drained the life force of this creature as I killed it. And because it's a necromancy spell I killed it with, it means I regain hit points, which is now this is a first level spell. Yep, and because it's school of necromancy, I gain 3 times, if I remember correctly, 3 times the spell level, which means I regain 3 hit points as I killed this creature, and I drain its life force, and it's really cool and epic and stuff.
Okay, very cool. So you may have your 3 hit points left. Cool. Okay, very good. So one thing you notice as you do that, this black ichor starts to move towards you as well, like slithering across the ground like this.
Right.
And then it kind of so it's moving towards you right now.
Right.
So what are you going to do?
Oh, right, I'm free to react. Okay, I get out of it, trying to get out of its way and make my way towards the ladder.
Right. Okay. So you kind of move. So this thing you kind of realize is not very fast. So it kind of as you go, and then it kind of goes. It's almost like this viper, and then it kind of realizes that it probably has no new hosts in this room at this stage, and starts heading out towards the archway there, which incidentally is just getting kicked in by the dark-skinned warrior, and it literally just flies off its hinges as he and Anarch walk in. He looks down at this thing, and he just gets his spear, just goes, stabs it right right through the middle of it. It kind of goes, and then bubbles away, acid-like, into nothing.
Falls into the seat, the cracks of
It just kind of disappears.
4 times, okay.
And that is where we will leave this combat. Well done. That was probably your most difficult one to date.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse, but I think you all did a very good job. We'll be right back in just a sec. Right, so welcome back. So as what kind of hit you has happened, I'd actually like everyone now to make a wisdom check, please.
Oh.
So we'll start with you, Jericho.
17.
Okay, very good. Pollux.
That's a 16, and I believe I get a +2 as well.
Okay, very good.
I rolled a 6 + 2, 8.
Okay, very good.
That is a 15 plus 3, 18.
Okay. So, Hakote, given what you have just witnessed, and this creature trying to essentially possess your body, you have gained yourself an insanity point.
Okay.
Remember, you have one as well, I believe.
Of course.
And the fact that although these creatures were definitely creatures, the similarities to the fact that they were young has shaken you a bit.
Right.
And that kind of actually makes sense, I would think, for your character anyway.
Yeah.
So remember, when you get 5, you need to let me know if you get 5 in this campaign. Very good. So you have, if this is kind of something you can have as a personal moment, whatever, that's up to you. But Sahid kind of looks at you all. We should be under the old town now. This ladder will take us into Salim. Once we are topside, I will be able to gather my bearings, and we can make our next move. and he starts to head up the ladder.
I follow him.
Okay, yeah. Hakote has a moment where you can see he's scratching at his neck, where the thing had previously crawled up. He then looks in his robes and checks himself before moving off.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's been a while since we had the last session, so my memory is probably a bit hazy.
Sure.
But did you not say that there was a grate above the ladder that was closing? Because that's why I was like, we need to go to the ladder.
No, the gate behind you, the archway.
Right, because I for whatever reason I had it in my head that we saw the ladder, we saw a grate closing, and that's why we dashed into the room, and then that slammed shut behind us.
No.
My point still stood. I was yelling at you all to go to the ladder, and I'm gonna knowing that, then I'm gonna check out the bodies of the children.
Sure. You don't find anything.
No, I'm not looking for stuff. I'm
Okay.
looking for what they are.
Yeah. Well, they are. They whatever they are. They still have these mutations. So like when you look at them, like their mouth, one of the mouths, the one of you've knocked out, you can see all of the rows of teeth in there. The black liquid is kind of seeming to be on their lips and stuff still, but it seems to be drying now. So it's whereas before it was like this visceral thing that would kind of almost feel like it had a life of its own. It now seems to be caked and is drying out.
Do I recognise this? Is this something that I maybe would have encountered before or know about, based on my background?
No.
Okay. Seeing that and seeing the weird possessed thing, I unsheathe my short sword and I go around and I execute the 3 that I knocked out.
Okay. Very good.
And then I go up the ladder after everyone else.
As you're doing that, the dark-skinned warrior kind of regards you, and he just kind of gives you a nod, as if that was probably the right thing to do.
I sort of regard them and say to him, "You have seen these before. Then how do we know it was the right thing to do?"
He just looks over at the crocodile and looks back.
I don't say anything. I just go to the ladder.
He kind of follows.
I just imagine like the dark skin warrior is just like.
Right. So, anyone else want to say or do anything?
No, I'm up the ladder.
Okay. So Anart's kind of taking it from there. So there is like it's almost like a wooden slab over the top of it, like a door, like a cellar door almost. It takes a little while, but he manages to push it up. It's incredibly heavy, but you do manage to open it. As you do, you actually feel something shift, followed by a scattering sound of contents of a crate or a barrel on the floor. So something was clearly sat on top of this door. As you climb up, you enter what looks like a modestly sized, moderately, what have I written there? That makes no sense. It's a small room.
Thesaurus has failed you this day.
So it's dimly lit, and you kind of realise that it's a storeroom as you come up into it. The barrel that's spilled over, you see some apples have spilled out onto the floor, and on the side of the barrel it says, burned into the wood like a brand, it says Clemot's Farm, the finest apples in the Siamese. As you look around the room, you see more crates with food labels, kegs of beer and barrels of wine. As I said, there's a single torch lighting the room. The floor is made of wood and the walls are made of stone. There are no windows, and on the opposite side of the room you see a stairwell leading up to a closed door.
Jericho immediately regards the beer keg, just sort of looks longingly at it, knowing it's probably not the right time.
I kind of do a similar thing. I check out the wine barrel and I just kind of, remembering how long it's been since I last tasted some really good, But I do take the time to check to see if the apples, any of the apples are clean, and if there is time,
pick up an apple, rub it, and chomp down. I look at Sahid. Yeah. Shall we? We need to find out where we are and where we're going.
Yeah. I take a couple, put it in my bag, and grab one, and do the same.
Yeah.
Is it all food based
Yeah,
stuff.
it seems to be some sort of storeroom.
Right.
Yeah. So as you say that, so he kind of nods and he goes to say something, and from behind you, you hear something breaking from the stairs. As you turn, you see a young woman is there, and she's looking at all of you. She's dressed in pink silks with a gold trim. Her complexion is the same as Sahid's. Although the silks are good quality, you can tell she is not from nobility. In fact, it's clear she is a serving girl of some sort. She stares at you, all clearly quite scared, and you see that the breaking noise was a shattered jug that's at her foot. Anarch kind of just goes, "I'm sorry, my dear, we were looking for the bathroom." And she kind of goes, looking at you all covered in blood and black ichor and all that sort of stuff, and she goes, this way. And she kind of slowly backs out of the cellar there. And that kind of looks at you all and just goes, "Well, shall we?"
I put my hand on the hilt of my blade and I say to the others, "The minute that she's out of earshot, she's going to go get some guards. I suggest we move."
Yeah, Hokote, he keeps scratching his neck, and he seems like quite distant from the rest of the group at the moment. Like as in he's not even really regarded her.
Yeah.
Right.
So he kind of notices and says, "Are you well, my brother?"
Yes, I'm fine. And it's like almost physically removes Sahid from his presence, pushes him back, and then just starts walking after the girl.
Sure.
After the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you want to take your chances back in the sewer?
No. Oh, great. I didn't realise I did. I thought you. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So there's one way out of the cellar, if I didn't.
Right.
Yeah. There's a stair. So she's
going back up the stairs.
Yeah, she's going back up the stairs. Yeah. So you go up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon I kind of see if I can kind of catch up to her actually, or is she already just she's
Well, she's watching you all, and
Yeah.
she's quite young as
Yeah.
well. She's terrified. There's a good chance that she didn't even know there was another door or way to get in here. So at this stage, she well, you don't know what she thinks. She could think that you've just arrived here from somewhere else. You've come out of the sewer. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
So she's obviously a serving girl who's come down here to just fill up and go out and serve some people. So what actually happens is when you go up, now she does seem to almost be leading you though, like she's like going, "Okay, come this way." She's almost sort of giving you the benefit of the doubt, but she's kind of walking backwards as she's looking at you guys to make sure you don't do anything. You start to hear the sound of music being played, and you actually enter a large room. The floor is littered with brightly coloured and decorated pillows. Groups of people are gathered in small circles, sitting on the pillows, sharing smoke from ornate hookahs, and drinking from glasses that are trimmed with gold. More girls like the one you've met in the cellar are working the room, delivering drinks and food to patrons. You see that you're clearly in some sort of inn. The bar to the left, there's a bar to the left-hand side of the room, and the band is actually set up in the middle of the room, and the patrons are surrounding the band. They play an exotic style of music, which none of you would be too familiar with unless you had actually spent some time in Samsar before.
Which I might have heard of one or two occasions.
Yes, you may have. So you would recognise this type of music. The players are all dressed in white clothing with gold trim. From the ceiling hang fine white fabrics, and they're draped and billowing slightly in the wind from large bay windows which are open on all sides of the bar. There's also a set of stairs next to the bar. It's now dark because you decided you wanted to come into the sewers, when Samsun was going down. So it is now night time. The girl kind of bows. The bathroom's behind the stairs, my lords, excuse me, and leaves.
I try to get out a thank you before she heads off, so whether or not she hears it.
Yeah. She pays you no heed.
Yeah.
She leaves. So you have entered this room. People are starting to kind of look over at all of you because you're kind of covered in blood and you've clearly been wounded. You do hear from the bar someone say, "Welcome, travellers. We have a strict don't ask, don't tell policy here. However, it seems like you've seen better days. Are you in need of lodging? Food? Drink?
Aye, all of those.
Very good. Have a seat. One of the girls will be with you shortly, unless, of course, you'd like to wash up first.
I say to everyone, I don't know about you, and I kind of regard the where I've been wounded. I think I'm going to tend to my wounds as soon as I possibly can.
At this, you can see Sahid is kind of visibly agitated.
I look to you two and then turn to Sahid.
Time is of the essence now.
Yes.
Well then what are we doing here? Let's go.
You would fight with weakness. You would fight injured. Look at you. Your head's not in it.
I don't suppose we won't want to draw any more attention to ourselves. Again, referring to his bloody wounds.
If we are to infiltrate this palace, or get there, perhaps in these clothes would be a stupid idea, Sahid. It's alright for you. We are extremely out of place. We have how long?
Perhaps you are right. The man said 3 days. We waited, so now it would be the day after tomorrow.
You would have us rest here?
No, I would have the ones that need to rest for now. We can have a look, make a proper plan.
You may not realise that you also need to rest. In sort of regards the wounds on your shoulder that you're scratching.
Kosi seems very irritated, not at peace with himself as he usually is. He visibly sort of backs down a little bit, and
I am able to scout with you if you need me now. Otherwise I will rest here.
I believe you should rest. Because he's looking down at your wounds and all that sort of stuff. You kind of escaped unscathed.
No, I got
Oh, that's right.
Big old bite.
Big old bite.
Big old bite.
So it's really just you. Jericho.
I'm good.
You're fine. So he kind of regards you and says, "You seem to be well. Perhaps we could. I have an idea. We would be back shortly."
Kosei sort of puts a hand on Sahid and sort of is looking at Jericho, and he says,
Would it not be wise to not send an ox to do a fox's job? He is not exactly subtle.
I'm not planning on infiltrating the palace now. I'm not even sure that we could if we wanted to. I need to find out where we are and see if there's any means that we could get into the palace.
I may not be able to move like you, but I've got my wits about me. Don't worry about that. You need to meditate on what you've seen today. No one should have seen that.
Kosei backs off and takes a seat at the bar. He just sits down and puts his arms on the bar.
Sure. Okay.
I sort of gesture towards the barman, just sort of point towards you, beckoning for a drink.
Sure. Okay. Cool. So he does look at you and says, "Come. We will return. And unless you have any objections, you leave."
I sure do.
You don't leave.
Objections or leave? No, leave.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah. I sure do. Well, what are your objections? No, I leave. What? Great. Wow. Okay, cool. Very good. So they leave. You guys are all at the bar. So this barkeep kind of comes over. He gives you. He just gives you a round of drinks.
Well,
And he kind of just says, "When you're finished, if you want, you can go to your room. Wash up, rest."
Yeah, Hakote takes the drink. He downs it in one. I down it in one long draft, and then I walk upstairs to the room to wash up and rest.
Sure.
As you sort of down it, you turn round. I put a hand on your shoulder. I spin you around, and I put my hand like on your cheek, and I sort of do that to you, like at your eyes. Look down at your chest. Give it a little slap.
Yeah, Hakote I step back.
Your wits are still about you then?
I am alive. It was an unusual thing. I've never experienced anything like it.
No. Nor have I.
It was alive.
Well, perhaps it was acting on instinct like a beast. Perhaps it was something more intelligent and malicious.
Beasts do not speak.
It spoke. Then may Nagal and Bohana give you good dreams tonight, my friend. Do not worry about it too much.
He turns and I walk upstairs.
Sure.
So Pollux has been kind of with you. He wasn't really engaged in the conversation, though he's kind of been half listening. In that time, Pollux has been he's gone through his drinks a bit more slowly, but he's kind of been paying a little bit more attention to the actual venue itself and just kind of looking around. It's clear he's quite interested in it. But I mean, if you were to hear him at any stage, he's kind of watching the music. He just kind of says to himself, "I've heard this music in a while. Strange the things you miss." Continues to drink, and once he's finished, he makes his way up to the room as well. Oh, is it all separate rooms, or we all chat?
Yeah.
all
So
at once?
what's happened is obviously there would have been a bit more conversation about lodging and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
You've had rooms prepared for you.
Yeah.
They're separate rooms.
Right.
It's actually quite a large place. I'm not sure whether I mentioned this. The actual bar is called Sultan's.
Hey.
So the room's actually nice, quite adequate. Yeah. They've when you get up there, there's bowls of hot water have been prepared for you. You do see one of the same serving girl who kind of came out of who saw you originally. Kind of came out. She kind of nods and just goes on her way. But yeah, you're given space. Anarch and the Darkly Moria have also retired to their rooms. Anarch's actually downstairs. He's got himself a hookah and he's kind of just sat quietly there. He seems to be, having a few drinks, but he's just silently sitting there. If anyone wants to say anything, the Darkly Moria has disappeared.
Yeah, I'd go join Anarch.
Sure.
I'd sort of sit down next to him.
Just sort of, he hands the pipe over.
I look at it and just go, "What is this?"
Tobacco.
You need this to smoke tobacco?
No, I normally use a pipe, but I thought everyone else was doing it, so why not?
Teach me.
Well, you put it in your mouth, like so. And it all all the water bubbles, and you've got the tobacco pouch on top, and it goes through under there, and then you just goes like that. Ingenious, really.
Seems like a lot of work for tobacco. Why does it taste like berries?
They flavour it. I believe it's
This
a
place.
custom of the region.
Have you been here before?
No, I've read of it. But my time was never around this area. Too hot.
On that we can agree. I look around the room and I lean in a little bit closer to him. What do you make of this, Anarch? This is just some illusion.
Yes, it is. But it's real. It can cut you.
I am well aware. I put my foot bang on the table and grab some sort of clear spirit and just douse it.
You kind of laugh.
An illusion, a fantasy, a test, a hallucination. These should not sting, these should not hurt, cut, make us bleed.
Unless, of course, we really are in sleep right now.
it would explain Zahid's behavior, his desire to prevent this assassination. And if this were to be true, Anak, what do you think will happen, meddling with fate? Meddling with things that have already come to pass?
Ah, that is not up to me, my friend. That is up to Skyver. Roll the dice. The way I see it is we don't have a choice. We're here or in the Blood Temple. If we want to live, we have to follow this path.
And are you not concerned?
Incredibly.
So where will your path take us? If we are to do this together, perhaps we should all be forewarned as to what we might encounter.
He just sits there thoughtfully for a moment. It would take me back to Gregor. A vile specimen. I hope that I'm wrong. But I used to be part of a group called the Cloaked Brotherhood. Gregor was our leader. He found me when I was a child. I had fled into the forest after an incident with my mother. He raised me to be a bandit in his gang. And I enjoyed it. I learned to kill, to fight, to drink. But it never sat right with me, some of the things that we did. Turns out I have a conscience, you see. And then I met her. Lilith. A farm girl, not far from where our hideout was. She was a bit younger than me. Kind of stupid, actually. But I loved her. She was kind. And she taught me things about myself that I never expected to feel. And I decided to run away with her. Now, Gregor would never have allowed such a thing, so we decided to do it in secret, get married, disappear. He found out. And he killed her right in front of me. Not before defiling her, mind. I don't know what happened that day. But when I woke up, everyone in that room was dead. I've been on the run ever since. They've been hunting me. That's how I came to the slaver's trade. That, I would suspect, if this place does bring up our worst experiences and make us face them again, that would be it.
Well, as I said to Sahid outside the gates, you will not be facing them alone this time.
No.
But all I am saying is that we need to be careful. We do not know what magics we are messing with, if they have an impact at all. But I slam a drink down. But I will help you kill this man, if that is where the temple decides to take us.
Thank you. But if anyone gets to kill that man again, it will be me. And this time I will remember every moment of it.
I will simply help hold him down.
That I will allow. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you for telling me of your dark pasts.
Well, perhaps one day you'll tell me yours.
I had an amazing childhood.
He looks at your ear. And he kind of laughs and goes, well.
Children are dumb and stupid and cruel. That is all. It is the way of the Nephilim people. Strong or dead.
And you're not dead.
Not yet. At least I hope not. That would be a strange turn of events.
Hmm. Wow. Yes. Rest. I'll stay down here and wait for the others to return. If we need to move, I'll come and get you.
I take one more thing of the hookah, finish my drink, give him a slight bow, head upstairs.
As this conversation has been going on, Pollux emerges from his room, looking refreshed. He's made his way back down to the bar. He's got himself a glass of a cup of wine, and he's going to find his own seat. So he's going to like sit by himself, but he's also managed to, but he's got a hookah there as well. So, and if you notice, he's basically just kind of sitting there, enjoying the senses of the wine, the hookah, and enjoying the music as well. And he even starts to kind of take out his book and a pen and starts kind of jotting something down.
Sure. And
he looks like he's quite like, as much as you could in this situation, enjoying himself being there and experiencing the sights and sounds.
Okay. Sure.
So he's just kind of having a
So you're
nice...
you're actively choosing not to rest, really.
Yeah, he wanted to take this moment to kind of take this in, you know.
Sure.
If this is indeed an illusion, he wants to remember it or experience it somehow.
Cool.
But eventually he will have a proper rest when he can. But he's done this, as you guys were talking, you might have seen him out the corner of your eye or something like that.
Sure. Cool. Okay. Fine. No worries. Very nice. And you've just left.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. So while all this has been happening, we cut to Jericho and Sahid.
I spear with my sword.
Still, they're just in some epic combat somewhere else. No more. Dun, 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 dun. So you head out into the streets of Salim. Even though it's evening, it is heaving with people. The streets are made from granite and wind their way through the city, lined by buildings made of white stone with domed roofs. Most of the roofs are painted gold like the towers of Salim, but there are other colours as well, blue, red, etc. On almost all of the doors of the buildings you see a fiery sun has been painted on there, depicting Samsun, the keeper of the light and the patron god of Salim. If you felt the festival vibe outside the city gates, you feel it double inside. The air is filled with aromatic smells of herbs, spices and roasted meats as street vendors cook their meals for people of the city. Music travels through the air, coming from various inns and street performers. You see a particular troupe of performers up ahead who have created a human pyramid through acrobatic feats, much to the delight of the gathered crowd. In front of them you see two halflings drinking large tankards of ale who are also part of the show. They're tossing fire sticks at each other while slugging out of the tankard like this, and they're laughing hysterically.
Comes in paint?
Yeah. The desert heat is still in the air even though it's now nighttime. It is hot, but the festival vibe makes it easy to forget. Although you realise you're here for a certain purpose and time is of the essence, you can't help but start to feel at ease. Sahid is leading the way. You turn a corner into the main street. Up ahead, you see the palace, and he kind of stops He exhales. We are not far. This is good. Come. So from your vantage point back on the sand dunes, you're only able to see the tall towers of the palace due to the city walls, but now you're in the street level, you see a sprawling ivory white building hidden behind another set of walls. Through the main gate, which is kind of like just a barred gate, you can catch a glimpse of a grand staircase leading down from a large pair of golden doors that you guess is the main entrance. The doors are both sides of the same depiction of Samsun, a beautifully etched sun, and when you look at it, it seems to be ebbing and radiating, just like Samsun does in the sky. So he starts to head this way. As you get closer, you see that the road is blocked ahead. A group of town guard have set up a barricade across the wall, and they're stopping people from getting too close to the palace. So he goes, well, shall we see how far we can get?
It's worth a try. Do you recognize anyone from down there?
No. If it is the time that that man said it is, I was but a boy.
Is there just one way in?
Well, there was the other way in the sewer, but I do not think that would have been open. It is a fortress, incredibly difficult to get into. Perhaps we can get some information from these guards. But I am at a loss.
Well, whilst we're here, it's worth a try.
Sure. So he starts to head that way. So as you get closer, you actually see there's a group of other people who look like they're trying to get entry. You overhear this. Papers? No papers, no entry. If you don't know who's supposed to have papers, you're clearly not supposed to have them yourselves. Move along now. So both you and Saheed hear this.
Well, that was convenient timing.
Yes.
What are they asking for?
It appears you need some sort of documentation to get access. I do not know where we would find that.
And we've just come through. How far was the walk?
Probably took you about 15 minutes.
Right. Okay. Well, they're certainly not going to let us in without them. Perhaps we need to go back to Sultan's, have a chat with the keep there. He seemed friendly enough. He might have some answers for us.
Perhaps. Come. Let us go. So you head back to Sultan's. It's getting late now. The inn is filled with patrons. The band is playing a more upbeat jig now. You get the feeling that soon the majority of people here will be on their way to a place of inebriated merriment. The barkeep kind of nods as you walk in. You see Anarch. He's kind of stands up and regards you and says, "So, what did you find out?"
Well, I can confirm it is a fortress. It is heavily guarded. However, 2 people tried to get in. The guards were asking for papers, so we at least have somewhere to start.
Papers, right. Well, we need to get papers then. Saheed, and Saheed kind of, I do not know. And so the barkeep from behind you, "Welcome back, friends. Drink?
Aye.
What's your poison?"
Ale.
"That we can do." So he pours you an ale. He kind of pours you all. Saheed is kind of, he's just gone very quiet. He's just sat there, so this ale is just kind of sitting in front of him at the moment, and you can see he's just racking his brain to try and figure out what to do. Anarch's kind of sat there like he's drinking.
Okay. So I'll speak to the barman, sort of Thank you. This is a large place you have. It's very busy. It's good. Very good.
Thank you.
I don't suppose you do any business with the palace, do you?
Well, no. Their guards will come in occasionally, have a drink, but we don't provide them with food or anything like that.
Who does?
The kitchens. It's all fully maintained on site. Why?
Well, my friend here, there's someone in there that's very important he'd like to pay a visit to. But given the festivities, it's a little hard to get in.
Right. Well, I wish I could help. What do you need?
Well, we need papers to get in.
Papers?
Aye.
I'm not sure I could get you any papers, but... I mean, the only people that are getting into there are nobility. That and the help, of course. Performers, that sort of thing.
Performers, you say?
Oh, yeah. There's a group of them coming in soon.
Is there now?
Yeah, I can introduce you a bit later if you'd like.
That'd be very good of you.
No worries. And he kind of looks at you and kind of puts his hand out.
I'm already reaching for a coin. Sort of flicks it his way.
Very good, my lord.
We'll be over there.
So, yeah, okay, so, you know, Sahid's kind of like brightened up a bit by this, and Anak as well. What you notice is through the door come that group of performers that you saw performing during the pyramid outside. And they kind of move past everyone. They kind of like, you know, they kind of move over to a corner of the of Sultan's. They seem quite familiar in here, so it almost looks like that's the place where they would like to sit normally. There's about 9 of them in total. You see the 2 halflings, you know, they go straight to the bar and they get tankards which are as big as their heads, and they kind of go and sit down. They sit on one of the couches nearby the rest of the group, and they seem to be squabbling over the hookah with each other in like a fun way, but also it seems to get a bit heated for a moment. One of the other troop members has to tell them to calm down. It's a mess. The rest of the group is made up of Monkau men and women. They're not in their kind of performance clothes anymore, so they've obviously got changed somewhere. And there's a man with a large twirled moustache and a bald head, and he's regaling the group with some sort of animated story. The troop listen intently, laughing and enjoying themselves. He wears violet satin clothes and has the complexion of someone who was born in the west of Arcadon. That's what you see.
You still down it?
I was just about to say, during this time, Pollux would have gone up to his room, realizing he's starting to get a bit tired, so he's resting at the moment up in his room.
Sure.
Yeah. So that would be before you guys got back.
Looks like it's up to you, Jericho.
I had a cunning plan, and I haven't gone to sleep.
Well, look, it's up to you. I mean,
Well,
you've seen this group here. You don't have to engage with them. You could go wake everyone up.
It's still only been less than an hour, really. You were 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back.
Yeah.
You've been talking for less than 10.
Yeah.
So, who's downstairs at the moment? Remind me.
So you're there with Sahid and Anak.
Right. Okay. I think our way in lies with that group over there. If they're able to get in, if they're performing during the festivities, we need to find our way in with them. What do you think?
I agree. If they have papers, perhaps we could take it from them.
How many? 9.
9.
Right. Okay. As soon as one of them gets up, leave the rest of the group. I'll follow. And then you two follow after me.
Very well. Do we want to wake the others?
No, we'll be fine.
Okay.
Nervous.
What one?
Huh?
When one of them gets up.
Okay, fine. So, so you're sitting there watching this group of people, and yeah, they're having some drinks. You know, they seem to be a nice, jovial group. Really, they are keeping to themselves at the moment, but you know, they're all kind of enjoying themselves. Eventually, the man with the large twirled moustache, who was kind of telling the story, he kind of stands up, kind of. Yeah, points, he's going over to the bathroom, and he heads off.
So do I.
Okay, very good.
So as I get up, I sort of nudge the other two.
Yeah, so Anak's kind of already, he's kind of been watching too, so he's already stood up.
Yeah.
Sahid is as well, so they kind of wait a bit for you to go, and then you go in,
Yeah.
follow him. Okay, so you head into the restroom, essentially. And this man is relieving himself in one of the corners there. What do you do?
Okay. So as he goes in, I sort of accidentally sort of bump into him.
Oh.
Okay. Oh.
Please, my friend, we have been performing all day. No autographs right now. I'm using the bathroom.
My apologies, sir, but I am a big fan.
Oh, well. It kind of finishes up. Cloud the Magnificent. And you are?
No need to introduce yourself, Cloud. Like I said, I'm a big fan.
Well, you've seen us perform before then?
Aye.
Oh, where?
In Tharandir.
It has been a time since I've been there.
Aye, it was a long time ago.
Well, you do look old.
Yes.
Well, this has been lovely. Always great to meet a fan. I'm going to go join my group now.
Very good. Before you do, please, if I could just shake your hand and say thank you for the performances. They've really brightened up my days in the past.
Well, I've always liked to meet a fan, as I said.
As I grab his hand, I launch him into the wall, attempting to knock him out.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
It never fails to go the way I never expected it to.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you suddenly grab him and you attempt to throw him into the wall.
I'm presuming it's quite a small space we're in.
It is.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Fine. I don't know what to do. Very good. Okay. So why don't you make a strength check for me, please?
Yes,
Just do
I
that
will.
down there.
Huh?
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm gonna go for it. Oh,
No, there's no way.
I'm gonna do it. It's an 18.
It's an 18.
Plus 3. That's a 21.
Okay, so as you grab this man, you go, oh! Brunk! You knock him out cold.
I told you.
He slumps to the ground. Anna kind of sticks his head in and you see his eyes just open like this. He goes, what are you doing?
Stay there. Don't let anyone in.
He just turns around and kind of just shuts the door.
I'm just gonna sort of like go through his closed pockets and things, see if I can find anything.
Okay, so you don't find you find some gold.
Right.
You find he has some sort of ivory pipe in there. He's in pretty casual clothing.
Right.
Did you think to ask if he had the papers first?
I was playing it cool.
You don't find any papers or anything like that
Okay.
on him.
It was canning.
So there's some gold. There's a pipe.
Yeah, there's a pipe. You find he's got some jewellery on.
Right.
He's knocked out. He's bleeding. He's got like a big egg on his head, and he's bleeding quite badly at this stage. So yes.
Okay. Can I hide him somewhere? Is there cubicles? Is there cubicle I can bung him in?
Sure.
And thus the Temple of Blood turned into a game of Hitman. Yeah.
Right, I'll pick him up and put him in one of the stalls and close the door.
Right.
And
Okay.
I'll leave.
Okay.
I'll go up to the other two.
Okay. So they go. Where is he?
He didn't have any papers on him. He had nothing on him.
Why did you think he would have the papers on? He's drinking at the pub. Why would he just carry that sort of stuff with him?
I thought they might be going, I don't know.
It's late in the evening. No one's going to perform now at the palace. Right. We need to go wake the others. We need to go wake the others. Quickly now.
Alright, come on in.
Okay.
Wow.
That's new.
What's Jericho's intelligence score?
It's not great.
Clearly.
I do have a +1.
Do you?
Okay, cool. Very good. Do you know what? We are going to have just a slight break here. I need to have a look at something. So we'll be right back. Right, so welcome back. Always great when you play Dungeons and Dragons and your party, you create things and then it seems to go in a whole new magical way. I think
that was a solid plan.
that was...
It didn't go the way I was expecting.
No, that's fine. But look, anyway, that's fine. So you've just left the bathroom. Anarch and Sahid have suggested that perhaps it might be an idea to wake up the rest of your party.
Sure. So as we are going up, I just grab the barman real quick and sort of like slide a coin his way subtly, because that's the way
Sure.
I do things.
Yes.
Subtly.
Subtly.
There seems to be a leak in the bathroom. It would be best if you didn't let anyone in for a while. Very good. And quickly make my way up the stairs.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What you see is he just puts a little sign on there that says out of order.
I like this guy.
Yeah,
Perfection.
So I'll go to a courtier's room
right.
and
Okay.
let myself in.
Okay. Take over.
Fox and a fox.
I'm just watching now.
Are you asleep?
Crocodile is asleep, yes.
I'm going to make my way over and sort of give you quite a hard nudge.
Yeah, Crocodile stirs, wakes up, sees your big face.
You said something earlier on about an ox and a fox. We have a situation downstairs. I might need some help.
Crocodile shakes the sleep out of my eyes, sit up.
What has happened?
Takes the bell, puts sides on.
A few things have happened.
Crocodile's just looking at you.
You'll get yourself together. I'm going to wake the others.
Crocodile, I see that you almost seem embarrassed. I just follow you straight out.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm going to go and wake up these two.
The best part about it is I totally imagine this isn't Beard finding it hilarious. Jericho finds it.
Yeah. So as you kind of come out, you see. He's just completely stricken with some sort of angst. And
What has happened?
Anarch's just there shaking his head. He goes, "I would prefer it if he told you." What did you do?
We needed papers to get into the palace. Those folks downstairs had papers. I thought it would be a good idea to take the papers off of him. Unfortunately, he is incapacitated in the stool and he...
So Crocodile's just looking at
he had nothing on him.
Well, wait a minute. You're saying that there was group of people downstairs who have papers to get into the palace.
Aye.
And you asked if they had the papers, and they wouldn't give it to you, so you knocked him out.
Exactly. So, we have a time to this situation.
So I mean, at this point, he's literally lied about what's happened. Anarch's witnessed it. Does Anarch say anything?
Well, no, Anna opened the door to see this guy knocked out on the floor, so for all he knows, that is the truth.
Okay.
So Anna just goes, he's in the toilet stall.
Why have you woken me up?
Because we still need the papers. He had nothing on him. Luckily, I've had a word with the barkeep downstairs. He's put something on the door. However, he's not going to be asleep forever. And we still need the papers. I'm fresh out of my
I mean, that's a very special description.
I thought it was going to go so different.
So Gote says,
So, who has the papers?
We don't know if they even have papers.
Wait, I thought you said you asked.
and then Gote starts to put two and two together.
You didn't ask if they had any papers.
No. I thought I'd get it done quickly, unfortunately. He didn't have anything on him.
Gote turns to Sahid
And says, you remember the story of the ox?
Listen.
Idiot.
Gote walks downstairs.
I shrug.
Yeah.
and follow you.
And Gote makes a beeline.
Oh no,
to-
sorry. I'll wait these two up.
Yeah, I'm literally ignoring the stupidity you're saying to me.
Sahid-
I go straight to the bathroom.
Sahid is walking behind you.
Yeah.
And he kind of explains a bit better the situation, that they went to the palace, they'd
performing
overheard
troupe?
it. They'd overheard that someone needed the papers
Okay.
at the palace. So he just goes, so the guards said that you could not enter the palace without papers. We overheard them saying this to someone. The barkeep said that the only people who were going to have papers on them potentially was performers or nobility. Then this group arrived. If we can barter a way to get the papers off them without having to take them by force. But we also may need to take them by force. However, I am no performer.
Leave it with me.
I walk to the bathroom.
Have I been wake up?
Yes, I'll
The rest
waken
of
you
you-
up.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Subtly.
So,
We'll just
Subtly waking
assume
you
that
up.
while that whole conversation was happening, everyone was just waking
Okay,
up
cool.
and had joined
So,
the conversation.
I add to that. Is there any way we could possibly convince them to let us go with them?
Wait, who are you talking to now?
So he.
No,
as-
you're with-
as-
you're with
halfway
us.
down the stairs.
Yeah, we're already
We're up.
downstairs.
No, I'm coming with you.
All right.
Okay.
I've been.
So you're following
I've
along.
been waking up.
Yes.
I've heard all this.
After they've gone
But
downstairs.
it's just we've already gone downstairs, so you would have been woken up after the fact. That's
Yeah,
why
I've woken you two up.
Oh right.
For example,
Sorry. No.
Jericho wakes me up, tells me the story. I laugh.
Yeah.
I find it
Oh,
utterly
okay, right,
hilarious.
sorry, I misunderstood. I thought I was woken up and came in to hear this, and I've gone with you. But
No. So
no.
These two have taken off.
So so never mind that. So you woken me up,
Yeah.
and I asked.
There's no time to explain. You need to come with me now, please.
Fine. So I follow him down.
I'm just going to lean over the banister and just watch.
Yeah, Anna
With
just
a
kind of,
massive smile on my face.
Anna kind of leans next to you, and he's also finding it quite funny now. He's finding the whole thing. I mean, if we're going to die, this is a great way to go out.
Roll off the dice.
At this stage, Gote's just gone into the bathroom. I don't
Yeah.
know if the barkeeper's.
Yeah, so you
Tried
kind
to stop me?
you go, and he kind of looks, and he sees that you're part of the same group, and he kind of just goes,
Because Gote doesn't know what's happened.
Yeah.
Just
but he just kind
walks
of.
straight through to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right, can I see where this guy is?
So there's a stall with a door shut, and you hear this. Oh,
Hello, my friend. My friend.
And I push open the door.
So you see a man, short moustache, bald. He's got a big egg on his head with a little stream of blood coming out of it.
Hakote takes a knee, because I'm assuming he's like sat on this stool, takes a knee and
He kind of just looks at you, and he's really dazed.
My friend, you have taken a hit on your head. My friend he is very sorry. There was an accident. You fell and hit your head.
Oh, the big man. Yes, he was a fan.
Hakote sort of
Threw
goes
me.
with it.
He threw me into the wall.
Through you.
Yes. It
He
hurt.
is very clumsy. He is the strong man of our group.
You're what? Oh,
We are performers.
I see. Well, always good to meet a fellow. He kind of tries to stand up and like stumbles a bit.
Yeah, Hakote tends to him, holds him up.
My name is.
Take it easy.
Yes, my name is Cloud. Cloud the Magnificent. Your friend said he was a fan. He did not say that he himself was a performer.
Well, I believe actually you were one of his inspirations.
Oh. Well, that is most charming. Why was he so rough?
Unfortunately, he is not aware of his own strength.
Oh.
We tend to make sure that he does not speak during our performances.
I see. I used to work with someone like that. He didn't speak much either, but when he did, the things he would say.
May
would
I
you?
get you a drink at the bar?
Perhaps you could take me back to my troupe, though I don't know how long I've been in here.
Oh, mere minutes.
Yes, if you could take me back.
Yeah, so Hakote offers his arm.
Yeah. So he kind of come out, can see like Zahid's kind of stood there, and he's just kind of watching this whole thing happen. Anarch, you and Rin, I'm assuming you hear some sort of stifled giggle coming from the stairs as they're looking down at you. Where are you?
So you've come out now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Claude's got his arm around
Would I have been
him.
able to hear any of that?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So I'll sort of sheepishly go over to you as you're carrying him out.
Yeah, so the minute you start to approach, Hakote just puts his hand up.
My friend is still dreadfully embarrassed about your fall. You're very sorry, aren't you?
I'm very sorry, Cloud the Magnificent. I'm afraid Boana didn't bless me with,
It's okay. Well, I mean, it's not. But
He's really
you can't be
ruined
mad at the
everything.
simple, can you?
No, you cannot.
Hakote grins at that.
He really ruined everything for us. We were hoping.
And I put him in there.
So they're kind of the troopers, they're all kind of gathered around you now. They all seem he seems quite old compared to the rest of them, all young, and they're all they've come over to him. They're like, oh my goodness, what's happened? He goes, no, it's fine. We've got a fan. What's your name?
Jericho.
Jericho. He's not the smartest tool in the shed. And he's a strong man in a show. In fact, they're all travelers just like us. Isn't that wonderful? He got excited because he recognized me from my days in Farindir. And, well, he was quite rough and actually hurled me into a wall. But he didn't mean it.
He only wished to shake your hand.
Yes, which I won't be doing again, I hope you understand. But the sentiment was lovely. Thank you, Jericho. Thank you. Well,
We ruined things for us. Actually, we were hoping to ask something of you. I assume that you took your fall before he managed to ask.
well, he didn't really ask me much at all, except to shake my hand.
Well,
I had no idea what he was doing there. I thought he wanted an autograph. He followed me into the bathroom, you see.
Well, Kote looks up at him. I'm sorry that we have gotten off on the wrong foot. But actually, we were hoping that we may perhaps share a performance with you. We understand that you have access to the palace. We thought maybe if we could share the performance time, it may be something of interest. We all have various skills. Myself, I tell stories and I pull out my flute.
Yeah.
And I also play the flute.
So he kind of looks around at the rest of the group and they'll kind of, that is a highly unorthodox way of doing things. Were you not able to procure your own performance papers?
No, not because we haven't applied, but merely we have only just arrived in Samsar. And we thought that, of course, we wouldn't want any share of your gold. It is your performance time, but we thought perhaps an introduction to the palace would help us in the future to secure papers.
Well, it is true. And I know some people. I don't know, though. What is your talent?
Well,
We do acrobatical feats, fire twirling. I can sing.
Kote's got his flute in
Yeah.
hand.
As you've asked this in that time, but Pollux has approached, and he comes within eyeshot. He's heard you ask, "What are your talents?" And Pollux is coming in. He's kind of packing his pipe. It's clear that it's all kind of dry, and he, as he says that, he says, "We have various skills." He snaps his fingers, he lights the pipe, and takes a long draw from it.
I see. I tell you what. I have a throbbing headache. This is something I would consider. But I need to see some of your work, obviously, before we would do this. But not now. Perhaps, why don't we break our fast in the morning together? We can talk about this properly. You can prepare a performance. I'm sure that the barkeep would let us use the rear courtyard. We could see what you've got. If it looks like we could work a show, I mean, it always is nice to meet a fan. We could perhaps work together. Once you get to the top as a performer, as you know, it's always good to give it back down. It's our duty as brothers and sisters. And the rest of the troupe kind of all nod in agreement. Very sage advice, you know.
certainly,
We
can do this.
We are grateful for that much. Is there anything we can do for you now? Water? Anything else?
No. I think it's time we retired. We are not staying here, but not far. Shall we see you in the morning?
Yes.
Very good. It has been a pleasure and an experience to meet you. And he kind of sadly wobbles a bit, and they all kind of slowly go out and leave, essentially, after that. Very cool. Okay, so they've left. You have, looks like, a breakfast date in the morning.
What time is it?
It's getting quite late now.
Okay.
So he, who was kind of sitting there silently, kind of said, "This is progress. However, I am no performer."
I have an idea. Maybe every troop would have some guards. Perhaps the guards will be allowed in, as they are technically part of the troop, even though they are not performers. Yourself, you could be one of our guards. I've already said that you will be the strong man. That is easy. You could lift him.
I'm gonna refer to it.
If he is the strong man, what does that make the stronger man?
Well, he looks like the real warrior.
And I look to the dark-skinned warrior.
He will be one of our guards.
Exotic gods.
Well, we are a traveling troupe, no? We would pick up all sorts of people from Arcadia.
Aye. Sounds like a plan.
Well,
It is all we have. Very well. We should rest and meet down here in the morning. Perhaps if we meet earlier, we could perform or talk about some sort of show.
We should rise early in the morning.
Yes.
We'll take your lead.
Very well. I am going to turn in.
Yeah. Hakote he looks at Jericho for a bit and then walks up
I got to Rin on the balcony and I was like,
I just call out, I cannot wait to see this spectacle.
Excellent. Well, I think that is actually a fantastic place to leave this session.
Okay.
Really, really good fun. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with in our next episode. Wow. It's going to be fantastic. So until next time, you guys keep being adventurers and we will see you very soon.